Wigan have won 6 of the 18 previous battles with the tourists, and there's no doubt about it that Wigan coach Graham West has picked a fine side. He switches Henry Paul to centre, wants to use his pace against Steve Renouf, while the giant 16-stone ex-All Black Vainga to Ingamala, he moves across in the middle, and he's going to mark Australia's equally big Mal Meninga. Seismologists should take note of the collisions. Gary Connolly in the full-back position that many consider his best. And Australia, coach Bobby Fulton gives the Canberra Raiders international trio, Ricky Stewart, Bradley Clyde and Steve Walters, their first outings of the tour in what looks a possible test lineup for Wembley. Wendell Saylor, after scoring 2 tries against Cumbria, has another chance to impress, and one to look out for is try-scoring sensation down under this season, the full-back from Canberra Raiders, Brett Mullins. Lively, attacking full-back, plenty of pace. He's one of 7 Canberra Raiders in this lineup. Daly, good pass to Steve Renouf. Renouf, the Brisbane Broncos centre. Meninga, back to Ian Roberts, number 10. A favourite here at Wigan in the mid-80s, played 19 games for the Wigan club. Number 10, Ian Roberts, and number 8, Dean Pay. I was very impressed with him at Leeds on Wednesday night. To Ricky Stewart, putting the development through, oh, and here's a good chance, he's racing through, and number 12, Bradley Clyde, he's in for the touchdown, and that's a dramatic blow for Australia. Clyde, normally in the loose forward position, stunned everybody there. Dennis Betts, one man with the power and the pace to punch a hole in this Australian side. Jason Robinson trying to squeeze his way through. Oh yes, he's there! Jason Robinson, the youngster, Billy Whiz as he's known to those fans. He brings Wigan back in the game. At 6 points to 4, he's been in excellent form this season, and Wigan certainly needed it from that youngster. On the attack, Martin Hall driving forward, Clark, Edwards, Australia on the rack here at the moment. And is that a penalty? Mr. Campbell blew the whistle very, very quickly. He's certainly going to have a word with somebody. He wants the clock stopping. He's going to have a word with Kelvin Skerritt. And Kelvin Skerritt going in the sin bin for, well, he signalled with his left hand that it was for yapping, for talking back.
Skerritt must have said something to the referee, which has resulted in 10 minutes in the sin bin. The tackles on him, and also they're not moving up, I don't think, fast enough to shut him down.
Let's not forget that the score still Australia 6. Wigan 6, and Wigan holding out with 12 men. Australia driving forward, just 5 metres from that Wigan line. Moving, oh, good ball, superb ball to Dean Pay, he's in, and it was that man, Ricky Stewart again. And what a tour this young man's having, Dean Pay. He was outstanding at Leeds on Wednesday night. The switch, back to Fittler. Fittler, as good loose forwards do, carrying the ball outstretched, and Skerritt back on the field now. So Wigan back to 13. Roberts, good pass. It looked a forward pass to me, but it seemed to get away with it. Laurie Daly going in for the try. Boos all around from the crowd. It certainly was a marginal pass, but Daly raced onto it, took Wigan once again by surprise. And the score counts. Mr. Campbell awards it 16-6 to Australia.
Knowing that if they do make the break, then they've got the support there and make a large amount of ground.
Dean Pay to Renouf. Oh, and Renouf, they'll certainly not stop this man. He's a flyer. He's in for the try. Steve Renouf, again another try, coming out of nothing. The flyer from Wondai in Queensland puts the score out to 22-6, and he had that man Dean Pay to thank once again. He still gets that ball away, as does Sirinen. Stewart. Good recovery there from Robinson. A little fisticuffs in the middle there. Sirenen and McDermott, and Sirenen looks quite aggrieved. He's a big man to tangle with. 6'6", 17 stone 11. You don't tangle with him so very often. But Barry McDermott prepared to mix it, but certainly not referee David Campbell. And let's be quite honest, we don't want any of that. We've had some superb rugby, an exhibition from the Australians, and good passing and running from that man Sirenen. But
I think Sirenen was a little bit upset that he was hit after the ball had gone.
Over 2 minutes of stoppage time. These 6 tackles here, crucial for Wigan. They mustn't let Australia score again.
I think in previous tours you would have seen the Australians kick for goal there and take the 2 points, but true to Bob Fulton's words, they're keeping the ball alive and going for the tries. And there's another one there by Michael Hancock.
Well, it's just too simple. I said they mustn't let them score again. They have done, but in all honesty, they can't stop these world champions. Spectacular scoring, 26-6 for Australia against the British club champions. Sirenen driving in just over the Australian 20-metre line. Good resistance. And the time stopped again. Mr. Campbell stopping the clock.
Sirenen charged here there. Barry McDermott went over the top, Mick Cassidy went a little bit high, and Barry came over the top of him, so that was a slightly high tackle, and I think the referee's going to call him out here exactly for that offence.
Well, here we see the Kangaroo, and it certainly leads with the elbow, does McDermott, very similar to Kelvin Skerritt. Again, no need for that, and it looks to be Paul Sirenen. He's certainly in some difficulties there.
No, they're usually a very controlled side, and that was an aspect of the game we don't want to see, and I just hope that Paul Sirenen's all right and returns to the field soon.
Well, he certainly looks to be in considerable difficulty. The Australian physiotherapist certainly wanting to take him off, to have him looked at in the dressing room. In the Wigan colours. Clark. Farrell. Australia massing their defence around the play of the ball, forcing Sean Edwards to move back inside to Tuingamala. He's got a little space on the outside. Oh, well taken by Tuingamala. He's driving it down, and that's a try! Oh, that's a superb try by the giant All Black. He made something out of absolutely nothing there. Beautiful piece of football. A little chip kick over the top. He gathered the ball with one hand. He's so delicate on his feet for such a big man. But the gap's still not opening in midfield as far as Australia are concerned. Martin Hall coming away well there from the acting half-back position. Henry Paul, the chip kick. Well picked up by Brett Mullins, and a good counter raid from Mullins. Now then, this man, 6'3", he's long, he's tall, he can stride, and he's going to score a try out of absolutely nothing. I mentioned right at the beginning of the grandstand programme to keep an eye on this man. That's what he can do, Brett Mullins. A magnificent performance down under this season. Certainly McDermott relishing the action. As a Wigan now, looking to score. Farrell driving in. At last, Wigan putting pressure on the Australian line. Edwards directing. Gets the ball to Connolly. I think he wanted Phil Clark to come there, actually, but Gary Connolly received it. And a penalty, quickly taken by Connolly. Going for the line. Oh, and he scored. Yes! Gary Connolly brings Wigan back into the game. Piece of quick thinking by Connolly. Quick play the ball, speed of thought, speed of foot. Beat Australia And it's a try for Gary Connolly. So it's
maybe
Wigan.
they can afford to do though, Ray, with the scoreline at 30 points to 14.
Yep. So it's Wigan, just 3 minutes left, but finishing the stronger. Attacking down that blind side to Paul Aitchison. And interesting, Australia 11.
Yeah, but we've mentioned on several occasions that they do try and get rid of the ball.
And it's a try! Well, a try, an element of luck for the Fire, but it was a powerful plunge by Dennis Betts that brought about the try. The Fire, all credit to him, he left his wing, he came back inside. He was hunting for tries. He's been hungry all season.
I don't think Graham West will see it as a good performance, and I'm sure the players, when they analyse it themselves, they too will say that they were disappointed with the way they played, particularly in the first half. But they have come back well. They've kept at the Australians in the second half, and only mistakes like that have cost them.
Well, there is the final score. Australia's dominance over our club teams continues. Still unbeaten outside the Test arena in 16 years. But that victory was hard-earned. Ian Roberts now and Dennis Betts embracing all is forgiven, and the youngsters, I think, applauding both sides there.